no wonder you have a fear of the approach. Obviously, 40,000 years ago, there was a reason to fear the approach, or it wouldn't be hardwired into your brain for legitimate reasons. Nowadays, in today's environment, that environmental pressure or social pressure that has evolved that particular circuit to fear the approach, what we call first-minute resistance or approach anxiety, there's a circuit that gets triggered, and it's there for a reason. And here's the reason. If you approach the wrong girl in a 50-person society, and you're not a part of the tribal leader's friends, and you don't know if she's taken or not, right? You approach the wrong girl, next thing you know, if that girl is taken by either the tribal leader or one of the tribal leader's friends, the tribal leader's other friends will come along by request, each with a brick in their hand or a rock, and will fucking kill you. And it will happen. That's what happened. It happens so often. So many human beings have died for stepping up to the wrong girl and, you know, the guy who owns her protecting his investment and smashing your head in, getting his friends to smash your head in for him, and burying you. That has happened. It's happened so often that's why we have this circuit. Now, there is one way of alleviating a little bit of the stress of the approach, and that is to separate the fear of foreign territories from the fear of the actual social interaction. See, what happens is a lot of guys, they go to a public gathering for the first time, and that's where they're going to start picking up girls. But they're going to have, on top of the fear of the approach, they're going to have the fear of the fact that they've never been here before. You know, they don't even have to be humans in the room. Imagine going to, I don't know, if I pointed out a clearing in a forest, and I said, no one's there, but I want you to go there. When you get there, you would actually feel nervous, even though you know nobody's there. Because you don't know if there's animals there. You don't know anything. We have this natural, hardwired, built-in fear of foreign territories. So imagine if we can go to several foreign territories and make them domestic. We choose 4 or 5 different locations that are target-rich locations for us, and we frequent them. And yeah, I know it's not your shtick, it's not your vibe. Oh, I don't do clubs. Look, I'm not a club guy either. I just want to desensitize myself to it so that when I do approach a woman within that environment, I feel like I'm doing it in my own backyard. I'm doing it in my own living room. It makes sense, doesn't it? It's one way of separating some of the fear, and it really does help. Imagine going to a place you've been to before several times, and you just, hey, I'm just going there again. It's an off night. It's a Tuesday night. I'm heading there, and a few of my friends are going to be there already. It becomes so much easier to go out. If you don't have that now, that's something you should develop, all right? So one of the fears is getting this big smash on your head. That's only 20% of the fear. Here's the other fear. And this is the main fear that we have, and it's not going away. In a 50-person society, how many of those are women? Maybe 25. How many of those women are not taken, are not old or too young, are not sickly, are not, you know, unhealthy, ugly? How many of them are not taken, are not with children or pregnant? Really, it's going to round down to maybe 3 or 4 girls. Out of all those girls, you're only going to have options with 3 or 4 girls in your community. And 40,000 years ago, you lived in a tribal, like in a tribe all your life. Very rarely would you actually leave it, either to start your own or to find another tribe, and that would be very dangerous. 3 or 4 of these girls are going to be viable mates for you. Let's say you approach one of them and you fuck up. What's going to happen? Well, at least over the last 120,000 years or so, we have something called communication. We gossip. That circuit has evolved. And if that girl that you just got rejected by goes to her local peer group, and her peer group is going to be similar girls of age and social value, they're going to be a little clique, the hot girls of the tribe, she is going to tell the others that you are not pre-selected, and your genes will be unapologetically weeded out of existence. If you walk up to the wrong girl, you'll either be killed or you will never have sex again. Those are 2 very real reasons for that circuit to exist in your head. That circuit exists ubiquitously in every single head of ours. We are complex, elegant, sophisticated biological machines, but we are out-of-date machines. We're about 40,000 years old. You're not IBMs. You're VIC-20s. So when it comes to the approach, you're going to have to barrel through it. It does not go away. The best PUAs, the best guys, get approach anxiety. And we have something called the 3-second rule. We'll take a break shortly. In the 3-second rule, the main concept there, let me turn this off. The main concept in the 3-second rule is to not allow our anticipatory anxiety to increase by waiting on it. You know, there's a girl, she's a hot girl, she's just come in the room, I say approach, you go, fuck. You can feel that horrible feeling for 10 minutes or for 3 seconds. It's your call. Either way, it's a horrible feeling. It's like jumping into cold water. It's a horrible feeling, but if you just get it over with now, you're going to enjoy the swim for a lot longer. It's the only rule that we have whereby we train for it. It's called the 3-second rule. There's the set, go in. There it is, it's good to go. You don't anticipate any interrupts. You know, it's not a moving target. It's a good set for approach. If I wait, it may actually disrupt. The girls are standing there, they're perfectly happy, they're non-moving. But if I wait 5 extra seconds, well, maybe they're bored and they're going to move. They wouldn't if I would have come up, because I could keep them entertained and then lock them in against the bar, right? But by not doing that, by breaking the 3-second rule, not only are you increasing your anticipatory anxiety, but also you can have this set, you know, interrupt itself and move off because it was bored. And that happens a lot. So the 3-second rule is something we train for. Here's how we train for it. It's a decision on our part to say, look, I signed up to jump out of this airplane many times. And that first time you're going to jump out, you're going to be at the window going, should I jump? See, the decision really should take place when you sign up, not when you're at the door ready to jump. You're here now. You're all going to do approaches tonight. All of you. You signed up. But you didn't just sign up to, oh shit, I'm going to have to do, you know, maybe 3 to 6 approaches tonight. Tomorrow you'll be doing a dozen. You're signing up to do a dozen a day, 4 days a week, for the next 3.5 years.